Damned and monstrous, blighted, repulsive, forced into the shadows and ripped away from any reminder of their mortal forms. Nobody down here but us boogeymen. Hey, whose head is this? Hello, and welcome back to Masquerade Monday and a new lore video about everyone's favorite sewer rats, the Nosferatu, the fifth in my series on vampire clans. Those who doubt that the Embrace is a curse need look no further than the Nosferatu. The most visibly cursed of all kindred, the Embrace warps each Nosferatu into a hideously deformed creature. As such, they sulk and keep to the shadows, and they often provoke the anger and mockery of other kindred for their nightmarish appearances. Still others are so terrified or disgusted by the Nosferatu that these twisted kindred have little social interaction at all. To their credit, the Nosferatu come to possess many of the whispered secrets of their reluctant fellows. The sewer rats are the spy masters of the dead and enjoy an unwilling respect as the information brokers of the kindred, given their supernatural acumen at stealth and the fact that many kindred would rather ignore them than acknowledge them. Savvy Nosferatu exploit this for all it's worth, turning the hypocrisy of other vampires to their own profit, collecting information and selling it for a high price. On the whole, the Nosferatu condition is lonely and alienating. How they react to the Embrace varies on their outlook and mental stamina, but it's hard to be an object of utter revulsion and not let it shape one's disposition towards one's kindred in some way. Some of the Nosferatu are cruel, as damaged on the inside as they are on the outside, while others are tragic, wretched creatures who have been cursed with eternal outsider status through no choice of their own. They are also the masters of the underground, living in the sewers for protection. The history of the Nosferatu, as with most clans, starts off with the embrace of their antediluvian in the first city of Enoch, a topic I'll be covering in an upcoming lore video about Cain. Powerful and vain, the Nosferatu antediluvian Absimiliard was a hunter of great skill and beauty who attracted the attention of Zilla the Beautiful, a second-generation vampire who stalked him down as prey. She was the third child embraced by Cain and his first wife. Zilla chased and embraced Absimiliard, although in the ensuing struggle she also scarred him lightly. A creature of enormous vanity, this trivial damaging of his otherwise perfect visage drove Absimiliard to obsession. His wounded pride coupled with his ego led him to resent, then hate, then kill his sire, precipitating the revolt by the antediluvians. Absimiliard had sired a small clique of childer by this time who were loyal to him except for one woman who fled further than he could chase and ran to Cain for protection. As a result, he cursed Nosferatu with hideousness, a curse passed to all of his descendants, including the Hidden Maiden, twisting all Nosferatu into hideous mockeries of human beings as a fitting punishment for killing the beautiful Zilla. The curse reverberated through his childer, affecting every one of his descendants. Since that time, Absimiliard's eldest descendants, the Niktuku, have chased the woman who betrayed them. The maiden came to be known as the matriarch, and according to legends, she gave birth to the entire modern incarnation of the Nosferatu clan. Through his loyal Niktuku, Absimiliard hopes to exterminate all of the matriarch's childer in the name of bitter vengeance, although it is rumored he plans to present their death as a sacrifice to Cain and beg forgiveness. It is known that Absimiliard fell into torpor, the state of deep slumber that vampires enter into for prolonged periods of time, millennia ago, but rumors abound about his awakening and his future plans for his clan. In the beginning, most Nosferatu resorted to hunt humans as prey, as they were unable to coexist with them in their cities, as the mortals either ran away in fear or resorted to fire and violence to drive them out. Most hid from the sun in subterranean caves or in the grounds of rivers and lakes. Many Nosferatu hid in the great rivers like the Tigris or the Nile to prey on farmers at night. The development of the catacombs in ancient Rome connected the clan with mortal society, although they were regarded still as inferior by the ruling Ventru and Malkavians. I made videos about both of these clans, the first of which you can watch here. In the Middle Ages, the Nosferatu were still considered a lesser clan, and notable in particular particular for their adoption of Christianity and redemption, specifically the act of flagellation. They were, however, not without power, as they had discovered the connection between human waste and plagues and used it to defile the water sources of a village if a local Canaanite lord became too arrogant. Many Nosferatu chose to dwell among the beggars and outcasts, feeding from the muck of society and hiding their disfigurements as illnesses such as leprosy. The Nosferatu placed a high emphasis on clan unity and mutual survival, and were consequently fairly cordial with one another. Being perpetual outsiders, it's not hard to understand the Nosferatu's desire to stick together, which remained true even when some Nosferatu left after the formation of the Sabbat and Camarilla. I made videos about both of these factions, the first of which you can watch here. The Nosferatu were very quiet during the Victorian era. In a time when physical beauty was supposed to reflect spiritual beauty, the Nosferatu experienced one of the greatest periods of exile in their long and lonely history. Where the Toreador were ascendant, the Nosferatu were relegated to the slums and ghettos of Europe. I made a video also about the Toreador. You can watch that here. More than one prince of London banned the Nosferatu from entering Elysium. So instead of parading around the brightly lit mansions of the wealthy and the noble, the Nosferatu scuttled around the back alleys of London, taking over derelict buildings and the sewers. The banks of the Thames were downright infested with Nosferatu, since the river was a convenient way to cross the city without being seen. The Nosferatu also lived in what was termed the Thieves' Citadel, which was a name given to high-crime areas of London. These zones tended to be self-contained both culturally and architecturally. The Nosferatu ensured that they controlled how and when new construction went on in these zones for their own protection and that of their clan as a whole. In modern nights, the Nosferatu feel their antediluvian metaphorically breathing down the back of their necks. Technically savvy, the sewer rats adopt every technique they can to protect themselves, encouraging the fears evoked during the Cold War to use many of the now deserted bunker systems as supplements for their own warrens. Most notably, the Nosferatu developed an information sharing network, ShrekNet, a parallel internet that the Nosferatu used to enhance their traditional information gathering and reporting skills.
Well, oh yeah, sorry. The name's Mitnick. I'm in charge of computer systems, network security, that kind of thing. You're the new kid, right? LaCroix's girl. Surprised you actually made it down here. Oh, lots of stuff. Reconnaissance, code breaking, espionage. If you've got the clearance, you have access to the entire Nosferatu database. You want the name of LaCroix Taylor? Got it. Jeanette Vorman's bra size. We got that too.
In 2004, the NSA compromised ShrekNet, the information they gathered from it contributing to what would become known as the Second Inquisition, a union of various secret services with the witch hunters of the Old World Inquisition that has begun to systematically hunt vampires all around the globe. After this new Inquisition started cutting a swathe through kindred society, the Camarilla ordered the wipe. Older Nosferatu hackers dismantled ShrekNet servers, beginning the removal of as much kindred communication as possible from the web. Although they took a hit to their credibility and lost many clan members, the Nosferatu still remain a significant presence in kindred society. Occasionally, a clique of Nosferatu becomes a brood or a cult, often based around a remote warren. These can sprawl into vast kingdoms of sewer rats who often exist without the knowledge of a domain's prince or archbishop. The Nosferatu also share information with each other via networks, whether digital, personal, occult, or something less definable, that defies the comprehension of other kindred. Nosferatu are stereotyped as ugly on the outside, humane on the inside. This is not entirely true. There are many Nosferatu who never leave the sewers, and the Nosferatu make a habit of sending their friendliest to communicate with other kindred. Nosferatu strongly stress clan loyalty over almost everything else. Given their hideous appearance, they depend heavily on clan support structures for everything from havens to food.
The Nosferatu stick together, pool resources. We have more going on than anyone could guess at. Our web blankets the night.
Broods are generally gerontocratic, with the eldest Nosferatu setting the policy and guiding the youngest. Most Nosferatu can acquire jobs within their clan, including assisting on construction or other survival projects. Most Nosferatu are implanted with a survivalist mentality, and increasing the strength of their haven is a constant preoccupation. The Nosferatu also used ghouled animals as defenses and have created spawning pools which are tainted by their vitae and turn, over the course of many years, every animal that drinks from them into a monstrous creature loyal only to the brood. Nosferatu kindred often make their havens far from the scorn and spite of other vampires. Whether they construct warrens in the sewers or they sculpt a sprawling nightmare nest in the spire of a condemned church, sewer rats value secrecy and distance from rivals in their havens. Nosferatu of humbler means may well squat in an abandoned tenement or a disused alley. So long as it's away from other kindred, it's a good haven. Like all clans, Nosferatu have clan variants that share their weakness. The Nosferatu in Ashira territories, located in Arabia and North Africa, experienced a schism of sorts after Islam became the dominant force. The Bayat Mutasharid were those Nosferatu that refused to convert to Islam or renounce their ancient roles as hunters and boogeymen. Focusing on survival, the Mutasharid used similar information-gathering strategies like their Western cousins when living in cities, or retreating into the deserts and taking oases as their domains. In modern nights, the Mutasharid seem to have vanished from Arabia, but some believe they are still around. Those Nosferatu that converted to Islam, however, became quickly respected figures. Seeing in Islam a promise of redemption, even for wretched creatures such as themselves, these Nosferatu quickly became a pillar of the Ashira faction. A key figure for their success was Tariq al-Hajj, a Nosferatu blood sorcerer who helped to ward off the most disastrous effects of the keening, a supernatural phenomenon that manifests as a clamoring cacophony of wails and screams. For this, he and his brood were renamed the Hajj, the guardians of Islam's holiest places, and they still maintained their guard into modern nights. There is no real difference between the Sabbat Nosferatu and their Camarilla cousins. To the Nosferatu clan, loyalty trumps faction loyalty any night of the week. Or perhaps because of their disfigurements, the Nosferatu Antitribu are perhaps the most humane, if not human, of the Sabbat clans. Having transcended the need for extravagant brutality, the creeps, as they are called, have come to grips with their monstrosity. They do not caper in blood or senselessly slaughter mobs of kine. Rather, a Nosferatu Antitribu's every move is one of calculated precision, designed to get the exact response they seek, whether that be respect, fear, or understanding. Many young Sabbat consider the Nosferatu Antitribu soft until they step into the sewers and see the true malice of their black souls. Many Antitribu also have a pathological fear of their own antediluvian, and the desire to prepare for the last stand is one of the main reasons Nosferatu desert the Camarilla and join the Sabbat. In both the Camarilla and the Sabbat, the Nosferatu are famous information brokers and spy masters. While this is partly supported by their use of the obfuscate and animalism disciplines, the Nosferatu also emphasize information exchanges as part of clan culture.
The Nosferatu are damn good at what we do. No one even argues that. If you need to know, if you want it found, you come to us. We're indispensable. Not a bad place to be in the afterlife.
Nosferatu invest in teaching their childer riddle games, memorization exercises, and other activities which emphasize sharing and hiding information. Most Nosferatu tend to present themselves as antisocial creatures and seldom play the games of Elysium, instead focusing on the acquisition of knowledge to make themselves irreplaceable for vampiric society.
The Nosferatu are the eyes and ears of the Camarilla, so they take care of us. They value our services, or, don't want to be on our bad side. Either way, no one bothers us.
The Nosferatu have a deeply ingrained complex about physical beauty, especially with clans like the Toreador. Nosferatu will tend to charge Toreador higher prices and make some clans crawl through humiliating or disgusting tunnels to actually negotiate with them. Similarly, Nosferatu will often accentuate their hideousness by cultivating an array of disgusting physical habits. Some of the Nosferatu who dwell underground can develop a penchant for bizarre forms of art, in particular for music, gardening, and sculpture. Rumors tell of the development of acoustic subterranean chambers, some of which employ channeled water, and of fantastical gardens with fungi the size of trees. Nosferatu also tend to use obfuscate for practical jokes involving their appearance, such as dropping a discipline's use for a brief instant and reveling in the effects. the most bizarre relationships can occur between Nosferatu and mortals. Even the most hardened Nosferatu may discover a weakness for a certain human or types of humans. Living as they do in places many would consider to be hell, there is a long tradition of the Nosferatu offering help to others like them. There are many cases of cruel kindred preying on homeless people, children, or mental patients who have inexplicably been beaten black and blue and left somewhere as a warning to others. Many orphanages, scholarships, and self-help organizations owe at least part of their funding to the sewer rats. Living in the gutter, there are a lot of Nosferatu who want to help those who still can get out of it. Unlike the Toreador and the Ventrue, they seldom if ever brag about their accomplishments, and most outside the clan are unaware of them at all. The sewer rats mostly fit into one of two categories. Some Nosferatu embrace the damaged, flawed outcasts, feeling some degree of kinship with them. Others embrace spitefully, dragging the beautiful or privileged into an immortal hell of disfigurement and monstrosity. Nosferatu are notorious for revenge embraces, and the resulting Cleopatras, a derogatory term used by the Nosferatu to describe those of their clan that were embraced because of their extraordinary beauty, often lead miserable lives within the clan.
Nosferatu have a sixth sense of humor. Sometimes they feel that their victims, namely moi in this particular case, have an overabundance of vanity and need to be taught an important life lesson. Yeah, the lesson is life is a cold-hearted bitch, so now I get to be one too. You get that? You need to write it down.
The embrace of the Nosferatu is especially painful as the body warps and twists while the blood creates a new vampire. The chance of a Nosferatu dying in the process of the embrace is higher than in any other clans, and many emerge as simple brutes, their brains damaged and incapable of higher thought or basic survival skills. For these reasons, some elders of the medieval world use the embrace by a Nosferatu as a punishment for disobedient ghouls. Rumors tell that those poor souls are most often killed directly by their own sire to spare them an eternity of pain and misery, but that some instead resort to hiding their childer and trying to feed and care for them. Each Nosferatu is disfigured in a unique way. Rare breeds of Nosferatu that have geographical connections, however, tend to develop similar disfigurements, creating different stocks of the clan that come and go as time develops. Examples for these are the Greek larvae, who were said to burrow through soft rock with their teeth and to feed on their victims through strange serrated proboscis, the German Fulci, who were bog-dwelling giants and cannibals, the French Parisi, who have near-translucent skin, and the Turkish Lazarines, whose disfigurements are similar to those of leprosy. Many others are rumored to have existed once and have vanished with the clan's focus on the sewer systems of major cities. According to Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition, these are some of the Nosferatu opinions on the other clans and factions. Secrets for amnesty seems like a fair trade. Emits showers of sparks. Point away from face. Point at some other asshole instead. They want our souls, usually until they understand the stench of a Nosferatu's soul. We have some common ground in being outsiders, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be careful around them. Down in the sewers, we see a lot of shit, but never so much as when a Giovanni heads our way. I try to keep to the shadows, but I'll hang out under the streetlights when I know one of these creeps has my number. See my face? That's what these maniacs' minds look like, except they're still bleeding in there. Peddlers of lies, they make great patsies, but they sure can bear a grudge. Sell them dirt on each other and they'll scratch each other's eyes out. It's the only way to come out ahead with them. They're not even vampires, you know that? They did something way wrong back in the day, and now it's stuck to them. I look like this because I have to. Those fuckers choose to. That's how nature says, stay away. High and mighty until they need you. Charge them double when they come calling. They can afford it. I'll be damned. They think their claims of domain extended to the sewers. Either monumentally gullible or Bible-grade wicked. Either way, you're better off when they're somewhere else. Sure, I'll buy what you're selling. For tonight at least. Now I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the Nosferatu? Did you play as one in Bloodlines 1, and are you looking forward to meeting some in Bloodlines 2? How would you feel if you were embraced into the Nosferatu clan? What clan do you think I'm covering next? I make videos multiple times a week, and every Monday is Masquerade Monday, so if you enjoy what I do, please consider hitting that subscribe button. A huge shout out to Ian Watson, aka Fawn Aether, for his help with compiling the info for this video, and for offering insight into Vampire the Masquerade lore. These videos literally could not be made without him. Thank you so very much for watching, it means the absolute world to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!